Hey everyone! In this presentation, we are going to talk about creating viral topics and headlines. So we're going to talk about sort of how to use some of the SEO and keyword stuff that we learned in those presentations and how to actually use them to figure out how to structure your blog post to put on Pinterest and to make sure that it's stuff that people are really interested in. We're talking about creating viral SEO topics, how we use search to create headlines, creating lists and how-tos. Basically, we're going to talk about taking the keywords one step further and really structuring your content. It's more than just having those keywords that people are searching for, right? It's that headline that's going to grab them and make them click on your article over somebody else's. And we're going to talk about how it relates to your headlines, but as well as what your pins look like. So you're going to use Pinterest to look for content in your niche that is already popular. Basically, this is going to be your process when you are writing new content or creating other headlines for, it could be for products or for courses or for downloads for your email list or anything like that. What you're going to want to do is use Pinterest to look for content in your niche that is already popular. It's the same process that you use to look for keywords for SEO. I'm going to go through this presentation, and at the end I'm going to kind of give you an example on Pinterest. Once you've selected your keywords or topic, you want to look at the top pins from your search results and what recurring themes do you see. If you're looking for weight loss and you see a bunch of them talking about a certain food or a list of foods or weight loss motivation, you want to look for those themes that are very recurring because that means a lot of people are probably searching for them. So let's talk about lists. Lists are organized and easy to read. People love lists on Pinterest. Users like this and are more likely to click and view other articles to your blog. So what you want to do is you want to create infographics over here on the left to get more repins, and you want to create pins like this over here on the right to create curiosity. A lot of people associate 0-calorie foods with celery. I could have put celery on that pin, but nobody is going to click on it again because everybody knows that celery is 0 calories. But watermelon, they might think, I didn't know that, so they're more likely to click on it. Creating curiosity and good content gets you both repins and click-throughs, so it is a win-win. But lists are really, really great on Pinterest. No matter what niche you're in, you'll notice lists just everywhere. You do want to create lists, and when people see a list, they know that the content is going to be organized and that they can easily scan through it if they want to without taking too much time. So I think that users just associate that stuff with easy, organized content, and so you definitely want to create lists. How-tos are the next biggest one that you want to do. And again, how-tos solve a problem and let the reader know that they will learn something. The problem with infographics that we talked about before is while they technically do still solve a problem, they don't build trust with your reader. You don't get a chance to wow them with your content because they never see it. We talked about this again in the other presentation. You give them no incentive to click through to your blog. Users will remember you, read more of your content, and maybe even buy a product from you if you solve their problem. So this pin on the right is how to save money when you're living paycheck to paycheck. And I have lived paycheck to paycheck myself. I'm sure that most of you at some point in your life you did. If not, you were lucky, you were fortunate, but most of us know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. That really resonates with a lot of people because this pin has evoked a feeling, right? Especially because it's a negative feeling and it's a feeling that you really want to fix. So this pin on the right really solves that problem there. Where this pin on the left here, it's a money saving challenge. I'm reminded that, I should save some money, but you haven't reminded me that it really hurts to live paycheck to paycheck. So you do want to solve their problem. That is what really builds trust, especially if you're able to actually solve the problem. If you say something that resonates with them on your website, they will return and they will click to other content because you have just begun to build just a little bit of trust there. That was a really brief presentation. Again, we talked about this stuff a lot in other areas. I am going to hop over on Pinterest and kind of give you some other examples for how to create viral content, but use all of these tools plus your keywords when you are creating content, both in your pins and in your actual articles and your website headlines. So let's hop over to Pinterest real quick. And you see I have lose weight typed in, and I'm going to use that as an example. I recommend doing is, again, just scrolling through your feed and yes, seeing what stands out, but again, see what themes are recurring. For instance, 5 reasons why you're not losing weight. What also popped up was 15 reasons why you can't lose weight. That shows me that people are wondering why they can't lose it. So I should probably make an article titled on maybe why you can't lose the weight. Here's one. Do you want to lose 10 pounds in a week? Best snacks for weight loss is right here. I can tell you that that's a very, very popular one. Lose weight by avoiding these 12 foods. Again, these both are somewhat related in the fact that they are food foods for weight loss, whether you're eating them or avoiding them. 5 foods that erase fat. There's another one right there. Just go through these and really see what is really popular and what you see very often. Remember that the search, like we talked about in the SEO presentations, it's not a perfect system. And see, there's a picture of carrots here. No, nothing. It's only got 20 repins and no text, nothing. That was probably just something recently pinned. That was why it happened to pop up in search results. It's not a perfect system at all, but just go through here and look at your different topics. It doesn't have to just be something as broad as losing weight. For instance, when we wrote an article on matcha green tea, what we actually did was we typed in matcha green tea on Pinterest and we waited for the results and we looked to see what headlines seem to be and photos seem to be working better on Pinterest for matcha green tea. So it can be really broad. You can kind of start out broad, but go a lot more narrow as well when you're making specific articles, because these specific articles will kind of help you rank better as well, because there's not going to be quite as much competition for them. So just keep all of that stuff in mind when you are structuring your content, your headlines, and your pins as well.